Perfect. Welcome everyone to our 27th of June Alpha Call. My name's Rochelle. My co-host from my team, Miguel, is here. Uh, DJ's also on stage, and there's a few of you guys here in the audience. Thank you for joining us. So yeah, this is our second call about Alpha. Um, so today we're going to reflect on the testing that we've done, and look ahead. And if you have questions, please post them in the chat box. We will have a time to answer those. We're going to go through and cover our testing highlights and achievements. Then switch over and talk about like what we're doing right now in alpha and our future plans with Alpha, and then we'll have a time to answer questions, and then I'll give out some info on next steps and stuff at the end of this call. So thanks again, everyone, for joining us. So diving right in, this part we're going to talk about the highlights. Miguel has some amazing stats. These are some juicy stats. These numbers that you've gathered for us. So take it away, Miguel.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, so I just wanted to go back and remember kind of what we did in the first alpha. So the first alpha we only had, well, I shouldn't say only, we had about 15 to 20 testers, and in that one again, just recapping what we did, we had about I think it was 5 or 6 thousand tasks we completed within the 2 week alpha phase, and that went pretty well. Now, in this phase, we added another maybe 15, 20 testers for a total of 30 to 40. And we completed over 42,000 tasks. So that was quite a jump, almost a 10x jump from our first phase. And in this phase, we were really focused on kind of stress testing the system. So what we were doing was we had tasks almost every hour of the day, besides when we had to kind of come off a little bit for some debugging. um, but it was some steady tasks throughout the majority of the 2 weeks. Completed the 42,000 tasks, and we had a lot of testing for not only the flow of onboarding of the new testers, as well as just the general dashboard as well. We made some changes there from the first phase. And then the big thing was payments. So we finally introduced the payments in this phase. For the most part, the payments went exceptionally well. We did find early on that using multiple devices, the way the payment system was set up, um, was not playing well with using multiple devices for the same account. So we let everyone know that pretty early on, and as long as you were vigilant in just using one account, the payment system was pretty good. That being said, we are working on a fix for that before the launch of the third phase. So once we launch third phase, we should have a fix for that where you can use um, multiple devices. It won't be synced yet because the syncing of the two accounts with multiple devices is a bit more technically challenging than we initially thought, just because it's a peer-to-peer system. But that will be fixed. So the payments should be, we should have a fix for that for the third phase. As well as we're also testing out, again, stress testing not only um, the infrastructure, but the manager node and how much the manager node could handle in terms of tasks being sent out at a time. Initially, it was only maybe able to do a couple hundred tasks, and we got that up to thousands of tasks per hour, which is also amazing. So we've been doing a lot of development in the background before and during these phases, and as well as right now we're doing some more development as we speak. Um, I do want to actually give some shout outs to some of
Yeah, this
the
is insane.
crazy workers. The number one worker was Basharun Dino. I hope I said your name right. Basharun Dino, yeah. And they completed 17,000 tasks, or over 17,000 tasks, which was ridiculous. So we got a lot of information from not only them, but everybody. But it was a great way to kind of see, even just to stress test single users or single user accounts. So that was an amazing feat that Basharon did.
And I want to say accurately too, because I was snooping
Yeah,
and was not scammed. So well done, Bash. You are an animal.
yeah, we may have been snooping around a little bit just to because we were so amazed at how well you were doing. So yeah, honestly, congratulations. You did an amazing job. But also some runner ups were Nadiadanova, as well as Fandngo and Chubby. You guys did over 4,000 tasks individually with all you guys. So that was another amazing feat. Like you guys were on the ball all the time, with great accuracy as well. So yeah, thanks to all you guys as well as everyone else, all the other workers. You do not go missed, and but yeah, I just wanted to give a nice little shout out to some of the higher the higher earning workers.
Yeah, and the
Yeah,
feedback reporting. Oh my gosh, and the bug reports and things and the messages off the side. Hey, I just noticed this or this didn't work right or something, you know. That's what's helping us make this better and, you know, further what we call stress test the system, find all the bugs and things. So it's incredible. It's so humbling seeing you guys, you know, participate in this and do so much. You know, we're asking a lot and we're incredibly grateful that you guys are all, you know, showing up and participating and doing this stuff with us. It means a lot.
oh for sure. Oh, Basharan wanted to say something. You
Yeah,
know what?
let's
If we wanna
pop up
give
here
him
real quick.
stage,
Yeah. I think over 17,000 tasks deserves a pop up here on this stage.
Hello, Roger.
hey,
Hello.
Hi, Miguel. Nice speaking to you guys. This is the first time I'm actually talking to you about the football.
of course,
And
it's great to hear the voice behind the mega tasker over here.
yeah, that's me. My name is Wally, but my nickname is Basharon, you know. I'm from Nigeria, and very big thank you to the team. You guys are doing a wonderful job. We appreciate you guys, and we are glad that you guys are actually carrying us along in every step of the project. Thank you. Big ups to you guys. And every other tester, well done.
Awesome, amazing. Well,
Thanks.
thank you for the kind words. I know we usually we don't get to hear from the community like this, and it honestly is very it means a lot. So thank you so much.
Thank you too.
So let's get back to the feedback as well. So the feedback from you guys was amazing too. I know I put up in one of the boards I had a feedback board, and we got some amazing feedback from you guys. So the number one thing was that for the most part, everything ran pretty smoothly. Most people had the tasks run very smoothly. The payment system was also running pretty smoothly. We did get some calls after that there were tasks kind of lagging out and some weird buggy issues there. It may have been some of these things may have been like a per user kind of issue, and other things were more infrastructure on the platform issues. So we've taken all the feedback there in terms of the efficiency and the task efficiency, and we're making some changes there. As well as I know let me just get the name. Who was it? It was Burn Burn. So Burn Burn. I don't know if Burn Burn's here in the chat now,
Here.
but so they said, or they gave some great feedback. One of the main things was the task lifecycle and how it could be um, ran a bit better. And I honestly I completely agree. So the main thing was having to accept every single task was a bit cumbersome, especially when you kind of want to go through a bunch of tasks at once. And once you start doing 10, 20, 30 of the same type of task, you kind of know what you're going to get. So um, we're going to be looking into making that a bit more efficient, and maybe not necessarily having to accept every single task, maybe accepting the batch of tasks from that task type. So that'll be something that we're also looking into, and we're going to do a few changes there. Um, they also were talking about maybe adding some kind of like shortcuts to do the task, so you can have like keyboard shortcuts to complete it instead of having to click around. And that's also something that we're looking into maybe implementing a bit later. So great feedback there on that side. Some other stuff and other feedback that we've gone back is that we do so in some of the tasks we do have some instructions on how to complete the task within the task itself, but as probably most of us remember, in the past platforms we had a like kind of like an instruction or information button on the top of the task to kind of explain what the task is, or if you forget how to do it, you can always go to the instruction or information button there. So I think we'll be adding that again, because that was a good feature we had before, and just something
Yeah.
we overlooked at the beginning. Um, so yeah, that's I think most of what the feedback was. Let me know in the chat, guys, if I missed anything, or if there's any other feedback you want to give. But that's the main feedback. So most of that we've taken into account. We are working at fixing a lot of that stuff. And again, the main thing being definitely the payment feature, as that is one of the most important parts. So we will be rolling that out with the third phase.
And
Um,
also how to deal with not deleting the browser cookies and the stuff, because then you like lose all the info that you see on your worker dashboard.
yeah, yeah. I mean that just
Yeah.
that kind of comes with the development side of things. We're kind of testing functionality in pieces here. Um, it's a bit, excuse me, it's a bit hard to have everything fully, well, not fully finished, but everything nice and pretty when you don't know um, how it'll actually work, or if it'll work properly, or is something that is liked within the community. So testing bit by bit is the best way we can do it here. And it's great because you guys are along for the ride, and you can actually help us build the platform with your ideas, which I think is like really cool.
I think so. I think so. So that's a pretty good wrap up of, a little bit of what we did in phase one, and then the most recently phase two. We're working on a lot right now while we have disabled, the alpha testing for you workers at the moment. So we can get, a lot of this stuff implemented, built, and things. And it's kind of impossible to do that with the manager node running. And it can make some crazy things. And then plus, why have it running when we are not putting up tasks right now, because we're implementing these new things. So Miguel, do you want to let them know like what we're actually working on right now while we're down?
Oh yeah, sure. So on top of you know but I was just talking about the feedback that we got from you guys and working on fixing some stuff and on the feedback. We're also doing a little UI refresh, and on top of that, that'll be, um, I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think we're also adding the like payment logs that we had initially, or at least some way to see a log of the payments. I know that was actually some feedback I think we got as well. Um,
Mhm.
and we also have a few new task types again that we're going to be adding. I know everybody gets excited when there's new task types, so you don't get the old tasks don't get too old. I know some people really like the dolphins, but we'll be adding some new task types. Um, and these I'm pretty excited about. One, you'll actually have to be using a microphone if you have one, great. If not, then maybe we can also test out the rejection of the tasks, and as well as another task type that I'm not gonna say right now, but it's also really really cool.
It's exciting.
Yeah, so there's two new task types for sure. Maybe even a couple more as we go, but there's two major ones, so that'll be really fun to test out. And yeah, it'll be a bit different in terms of the back end infrastructure, especially for the one that needs the mic and some recording of stuff. So that'll be really cool.
Yeah. But the
Um,
big thing is the multi-device support. That's huge.
yeah, and so like I was saying before in the feedback, um, the multi the multi-device support is definitely a big thing. I know we have a lot of workers and users now and in the past that you use your computer at home and then you want to keep working while you're maybe in transport on the bus, or you're on vacation, you go on your phone. So I know it's a very important part of kind of like how the community uses the platform. So that's something we're currently working on, and we'll get that done for hopefully the third phase. And like I said before, the syncing of the devices might take a bit longer. We will have the ability to use two devices without it kind of screwing up your payments, as that tended to happen before in the last phase. But at least you will be able to use two devices. It may go to like two separate wallets, and then you'll have to consolidate. But again, that's part of testing it out in the beta, and just seeing what works and what doesn't work. Um, and yeah, so the multi-device support's also a huge thing that we're doing. And then also in the future, I think this is another feedback from Burn, which was wallet integration, like personal wallet integration. That's something that we're planning for the future, not currently, as it does take a lot more of the development time. It's not very straightforward. So for the time being, we're gonna stick with like every worker node gets their own wallet assigned to them, and then from that wallet, it's pretty easy, especially on Solana, using Phantom or using your wallet of choice to just send the funds to your personal wallet. But yeah, for the time being, that's how we're gonna keep it until we can get the other bugs out of the way and get some more time for personal wallet integration there.
Yeah, but at least we have the export the private key thing. That was helpful. Because I
Yeah,
found that incredibly helpful for like my test account. I exported the private key into my Phantom, and then I could just easily send a little bit of Sol from one of my operating wallets into that, and then I could claim my effect for the tasks I did and things. It's just nice to be able to hold on to the private key
yeah, it's
to do
I
those
found
things
it
like
really
that.
useful too. I think also I might come out with a tutorial for that as well, coming out with the or during the third phase. I know
Yeah.
it might be helpful for those users that are a bit less technically involved. Although most of our workers, if not all, should be pretty good. But just in case, we'll come out with a little tutorial on how to export your wallet, maybe add some funds, and then move your funds around. So that'll be something to look forward to as well.
It's still lightning years ahead easier than dealing with EOS accounts.
Yeah, yeah, that was a hoot and a half for sure.
The EOS onboarding is way, way in the past and good riddance.
Yeah, and I think that
That
was that was
was,
one of the key feedbacks from Nadia we got was she
yeah.
loves she loves how everything works and how easy it is compared to the EOS version. So that was nice to see and nice to hear that that's exactly what the team was looking forward to was kind of the ease of use moving to Solana and being on this awesome platform and blockchain.
And one thing I noticed too, somebody had reported that when they had logged in alpha testing, it said unknown worker. And they're like, but it's me. I'm logged in, but it says unknown worker. And I was like, oh, that's weird. And then it happened to me too. But then it went away for me. It was
Uh,
really odd.
yeah, I think that was
In the process.
testing. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Basham. Or maybe you said something. Yeah, but so that was something I think that was being tested where if you didn't log in again, it would say anonymous. But that was also, I mean, that's because we're also testing during um, the phase as well. We're not just posting up tasks and sitting back and relaxing. We're testing as well. So if you do see again within the next few phases weird stuff like that, I mean you guys already know what to do. You're already mentioning it to us there in the alpha chat and everything. So um, yeah, it's testing as we go.
Yeah, it was one of those weird things. And it even made me check, okay, which account did I log in with? And I logged out and then
Yeah,
logged back in again. And then it showed my little gravatar thing. I'm like, okay, who knows? But then at the same time, I have like multiple devices and I was using one account on one device, one account on another device, and did I get them
it
mixed
gets
up? And
confusing like
yeah,
that. Yeah,
it does.
but yeah, as
Especially
long
when
as
you have
it
one
doesn't.
account for making screenshots for tutorials, and then yeah,
Yeah, as long as it's not you know negatively affecting in terms of payments or anything. As long as we
yeah,
know they're pretty easy fixes, or at least we can let you know if it's us doing it or if it's a weird bug. But yeah, the workers are on the ball because they'll there have been some times where we've had some weird bugs or issues that we find and then 10 minutes later someone mentions it as well, so we definitely know that people are on the ball here.
it is funny because we'll get an error report or a bug report from an alpha worker, and then you and I will be in the chat talking about it, and it'll be like Jeffrey would say, "Oh yeah, I just deployed this like 5 minutes ago." I mean, it's like that fast. We
Yeah,
notice when something's up.
yeah, so it's great to
So
know that we have a great group of workers here.
incredibly great group of workers. Okay, so we have questions session. If you have a question and you're in here in the chat, so basically Nine Bong, Burn, Alan, type away. I collected a few questions that we've been noticing in the community, things and stuff. And one was actually from Alan from you the other day, and I answered it in the Discord, and it was, do I need to re-register for the next phase? And the answer is no. Once like you've been accepted and onboarded in alpha, and you know received a code from me in the past and you've been working on the platform or whatever, or you've received a code but then never did tasks, don't worry, you're still in alpha. When we go to our third phase, you'll still get a new code to use for the third phase. So once you've been accepted, no need to refill out a form to try to get back on. Once you're in, you're in. um, and then some people want to know, how can I join for the next phase? And we have this form that everyone, where is, I'm trying to highlight the link. We have a form that we've been using for everyone to register. Now, if you've registered on it in the past, great, cool. You're already registered. You're still in my pool of people to onboard. If you've never filled out this form, go ahead and fill out the form, and we'll add you to the queue of people we're onboarding. The biggest question from all of you guys is, when is phase 3? When are we starting this back up? Because, you know, right now we're not posting tests. You guys can't get in, and it's down. We're thinking the first half of July. We're still trying to do a lot of the things that Miguel previously talked about right now. Still doing the internal testing and, you know, deploying stuff and whatnot. So it'll be the first half of July. That could mean in a few days we're like, hey, codes are going out. Or it could be the first week, second week. I will let you know as soon as possible. And are we going to bring on new testers in phase 3? Yes, I'm going to onboard some more people to add to our alpha tester group. I don't know quite how many yet. I'll know closer to time when we're going to start phase 3. So I'll keep you guys updated. And when I go to onboard more people, I will put a notice in the Telegram and the Discord. Hey, I'm onboarding more people. Check your emails. New emails have been sent out for the new people. And then I'll also let everyone know, hey, check your emails. New codes have come on out. And let's see, how many testers are there? We get that question a lot. We have about 40 have access, and that's from both phase 1 and phase 2. I don't know exactly how many I'm going to onboard additionally for phase 3, but I'll let everybody know. I'm hoping a lot, because we seem to onboard, don't we, Miguel? Seem to onboard more and more with each phase. Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah. I
first
mean,
the first
first
was
phase we had
initial
about maybe 15 or
small.
something.
Yeah, and then we onboarded quite a few more than that for phase 2. So
Hmm.
I'm forecasting a double amount, I think, for phase 3. We'll have to see. Um, And oh, we got a question from Burn in the chat. What will be the step after phase 3? When will there be a live product for the world to enjoy? I don't know yet. That's stuff I can't answer yet. If you noticed, you know, phase 1 and 2 each had like specific targets. So for phase 3, we have specific things that we want to have implemented or fixed that we've learned from 1 and 2. That's what we want to have in for 3, our fixes and then extra features. So it kind of depends on what goes on in phase 3. We'll know the next steps then. Could be more phases, could be a product, who knows. But speaking of a live product for the world to enjoy, that gets my next question and answer. And the next question is, when's the next community call? And our community calls are more like project wide things, not just alpha. So that call we have scheduled, I think, what, the first half of August, Miguel?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think we'll have more to discuss and debut about and things the first half of August. So that's when we're going to have our next community call. I'll narrow down the date as soon as possible for that, and then put the announcements out
Yeah,
with that.
the majority of the community call, if we didn't have these alpha calls, would probably just be what we're talking about now.
Yeah,
So that's also why maybe you might think if the community calls are a bit longer in terms of like the time between each other, it's I mean right now we're focusing solely really on the alpha and making sure that the platform and the product comes out as amazing as possible. And so even just going back to Burn's question about steps after phase three, um, we'll definitely have a much better idea of where we're at after phase three, just because I mean phase one was just to see if onboarding kind of worked well and maybe if people could do some tasks. Payments weren't even a thing. Phase two was bringing payments into light, and kind of stress testing the system a bit more, which that went really well with the stress testing, and we saw that the payments were good, but there were some weird bugs here and there with the payments. So phase three is really going to be a big focus on um, one, the payments, and trying to be as seamless as possible, because of course you don't want to put a product live into the world and then have people come on and the payments don't work, right? So that's definitely going to be a huge thing, as well as the multi-device support. I think is also really big to get before we even think about going live to the world. And yeah, and that also means once we go live, it's not going to be 40, 50, 100, 200 workers. It's going to be whoever wants to come on can come on. And so we really,
yeah,
really, really, really want to make sure that that is a that the system will be able to handle that. We also want to make sure that we can have multiple manager nodes as well, because one manager node with hundreds and hundreds of workers, we haven't tested that yet, and we really really want to make sure we have a polished product for that. So yeah, we won't be saying exactly when a live product will be, but we're gonna take it one phase at a time, and depending on how phase three goes, I mean we might be pretty close to testing even bigger things. So yeah, but I think the trajectory that we're on right now is really really good. Um, if the workers keep doing what they're doing, which I have no doubt they will, we get a lot of really really good feedback, and it just makes the development process so much easier when we have that feedback. So yeah, I just want to say a big thank you to the workers again for that.
yes, definitely. And then two, it's just easier to split up alpha calls from like project community calls, just because who wants to have a 3.5 hour community call with
Yeah,
75% of it taken up with alpha stuff, you know? So um, it makes sense to split them right now while we have so much focus on alpha development and things. Um, but yeah, and I miss our DAO calls, so I can't wait till we have
yeah,
those back.
yeah. That's gonna be a great thing to work on too. Once we get
Yeah,
a bit further along with this, then I'd definitely be very excited to bring the DAO back.
yeah, yeah. But just to recap, phase three, we're going to start the first half of July. We're going to onboard more people. More codes will go out. Our next community call is in like the first half of August. Alan's asking about the moon again. At least he's not making Orange Man comments, so I will take that as a win.
Well, actually, I do
Um,
have an answer for Alan. If you wait a few hours when it's nighttime, that's when. You just have to look up.
oh, thank you, Alan, for our comic relief moment here in
Yeah.
the segment.
Excuse me. Um,
So
yeah.
yeah, I hope you guys got a little bit more in-depth info about what's been going on with Alpha, what's gonna happen with Alpha. This also coincides with a great blog post that was sent out this week by Miguel. Wonderful update
Yeah.
about Alpha 2. So make sure to check that out on the website too as well. Um, and thank you again, DJ, for recording this. I know you're gonna get a transcript out soon.
I'm not
No,
recording it.
I got it. I got the
Oh
recording.
yeah,
Miguel is recording.
Miguel.
Okay,
Sorry,
good.
I'm still stuck in Dow days where
It's the
where,
muscle memory.
where DJ was always recording it. But thank you, Miguel, for recording it.
Yeah.
Because I can't trust my OBS studio. I am gonna have to delete and reinstall or something.
I'll
Um,
I'll get
do you-
a nice little transcript out too, and then um, DJ, did you want to post it on the on YouTube there again?
Yeah, if you give me the raw video file, I'll upload it to my
Okay,
channel.
sounds good.
And I guess if my 2 cents is it's great to see the development progress going real steady. Um, I think as for the DAO, we all voted to make sure that the product is the main priority, and it's good to see that it is. That's all really we care about now is, or at least for me, is making the product of Effect Force a reality on Solana. So it's great to see workers participating and improving and adding their comments and getting claiming their rewards for completing tasks. So it's great to see the progress and that all the concentration isn't on that.
Yeah, of
Here,
course.
here.
Very excited for the next phase as well.
Me too. Okay, well, you all have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us today. Appreciate you guys showing up, and thank you to all of you who are in the future listening to the recording.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you too.
All
Bye,
right.
everyone.
See you guys.